evening, Prosperity and Health Alliance. Wade T. Lightheart here with my good buddy Siha. Top. Give a wave.
Hello, everybody.
I don't know, but it's kind of looking like summer. And let me tell you, things are heating up. I know, Siha, you guys are just blowing out trifectas and home health packages and business centers left, right, and center. How many did you do today?
I'm not going to say. I'm going to save it for the show.
All right, he's going to save it, so we're going to get to that.
For the show, yeah.
A big hearty hug and welcome to everybody on the show tonight and the webinar tonight. We got some great stuff on inviting we're going to talk about. We also got some great stuff that Siha is going to kind of segue into in regards to how to sell the home health package or how to sell the entrepreneur success package. He's going to share with some of the things that he's been doing to really explode. That's going to help you explode your business. Of course, Kimmy's got the control arms and all the dials and the levers ready to rock and roll back there, making sure everything goes smooth. But let me tell you, first and foremost, Q1's over. We're into Q2. Quarter 2 is happening. I hope your first 3 months was great. I hope that you took on the 90-day massive action. I hope you got some sales or you got some learning experiences. Remember, you know, this is a business, and most businesses don't make money in the first year. Most businesses take a while to become profitable. And so if you're new to the business and you haven't produced a lot of income, that's okay. If you're old to the business and, you know, for whatever reason, you got a little dry, a little stale, that's why you're here on the call tonight, because you know what? That's the beauty of this. You never go backwards. You know, you take a break or you fall down or things don't work. You didn't go backwards. You're always moving forwards. And of course, Mr. Oshiro says he's a snake, and a snake only goes forward. Because I like that snake, what I mean by that is in the Chinese astrological sign, that's a magical beast that you can be. Like, you know, you could be a Taurus here, or you could be an Aries or a Virgo. Over there, you can be like a rat or an ox or a snake or a dragon, and he's a snake. He says you're always going forward. Always move forward, and that's the way our compensation program is. That's the way our business is. And that's what we want for you when you are on the Prosperity and Health Alliance. So you know what? Just keep moving forward. You know, whatever that step. And some people go faster. Sometimes it goes faster. Life happens, things happen, but never beat yourself up. Keep coming back in, keep plugging in, keep learning the system, because before you know it, it's going to be in a place that you never imagined. And you know what? It only takes one extra moment, that one extra yes, that opens the door to literally a tsunami of sales that you can't believe. Because right now, today in the world, I mean, what a time. You know, there's a lot of uncertainty in the economy. There's a lot of uncertainty about job security. There's a lot of insecurity about people who are in the retirement age and they're saying, I'm going to run out of money. I need to do something. What better thing to be involved with than something that's good for your health, that's good for your environment, and if you work it, good for your bank account. Siha, I know you want to have a quick thing before we get started and say hi to everybody, because I know things are growing and flowing in your world. It's a sunny background, families there. I mean, hit it, brother.
Awesome. Hey, everybody. Gosh, what an amazing day. My phone has been lit, and thank you all for your energy. I can't stop smiling because of the energy that everybody's got going right now with their teams and with their organizations and with their skill levels and just moving forward. Like Wade was saying, I just feel this momentum moving forward, and none of us are taking the foot off the pedal. It's just it's to the metal right now, and it's just so exciting. All over the world. Just in today, I've spoken to 3 people on different continents, and so what an amazing journey that we're all going together. So I'm excited about tonight's show. Always, it's going to be some amazing information. That's, again, we talked about this. We cut through the fat and just give you what we believe you guys need to keep moving forward as efficiently and effectively as possible without wasting a lot of time and effort and energy. So without further ado, let's get this thing rolling. Wade.
Awesome. And so one of the things that I'm going to start with tonight is scripts when you're trying to invite people to the prospect of the business. And I got to say, starting out, I had a lot of resistance around scripts because I thought that I knew what I was doing, or that I got this figured out, or I was going to do it my way, and I was going to be a water expert, and I was going to be, you know, And what I've learned in the 9 years that I've been with this project, 9 years I've been with this project, the top guys, the guys that enrolled me, the guys that got me started, the guys that got a lot of my top distributors started early on, because you got to realize that the best people in my business, they're the guys that they handled that for me. I didn't figure it out. Like Siha got involved not because of Wade. Siha got involved because of my upline and their ability to sell. I just brought people to the party, and they right. used the techniques and the business and the experience that I didn't have. And so if you're not leveraging the tools and you're not leveraging us as the team or your upline, your immediate upline, or your higher upline, find the person you can you're not leveraging it, you're missing out. You're not doing this, you're not going to grow as fast as you could. You got to realize this is the business of helping people. Now, there is a strategy on, getting the invite and creating curiosity. For those of you who haven't watched the Straight Line Persuasion, I highly recommend watching this and understanding it. And one of the reasons why the top companies in the world are extremely successful is because they follow scripts. Now, keep in mind, a script is something to allow you to say enough to get curiosity and to get them to an exposure, whether it's your website, whether that's a meeting, whether that's a one-on-one business. That's all you want to get. And a lot of people try, they try to get a home run off the bat and go from, hey, by the way, you want to hear about this, to trying to turn them into a $1 million business thing, or they're trying to turn them into a health, transformation program. And that's where people make a mistake. I made that mistake. Siha's made that. We've all made that mistake. And so what we're here tonight, and we appreciate you being on the call, is so that you don't do some of the mistakes we have. So, Kimmy, if you want to pull up, my my site here. I'm going to go through these scripts. And by the way, tomorrow in your email box, or as soon as this video comes out, what we're going to do is we're going to actually show you. You're going to actually get a copy of this in a PDF format, so you can read this. So you don't have to copy this all down. You can listen, because it's not just about the script. It's just all about the message and how you say the message. So, Kimmy, which button do I got to play? Oh, there's the play button. There we go. All right. So here we go. Are we good, Kim? I think so. Great. Awesome. So, okay, here we go. PH Alliance scripts. So there's three things that we do. We introduce people to the business, and we introduce people to the product, and we ask for referrals. So we're always going through these three things. So I have Trifecta behind me. Everything's three things. The mind works in threes. So remember, you're going to introduce someone to the business, you're going to introduce them to the product, and you're going to ask for referrals. Whether they reject you or not doesn't matter, because you're going to go through this project. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a simple, easy way. So you're always moving your business forward, that if that person doesn't have, doesn't respond, you go to the next level. And you go to the next level and you move on. And you move on in a way that's eloquent. You move on in a way that's not high pressure, but you do move on and move forward. And if you do this enough and master this, what happens is you start to realize that it's not about convincing any one person. It's committing to a process. And when you have a process down, you can just roll through this and you get your numbers, and you just keep getting better, and it becomes easier and easier and easier. So here's a great introduction. Now keep in mind, these are things that we know work. Now sometimes, and Siha's going to chime in here, some of the things that he does, is going to share a little bit, but here's a great starting script for people introducing to the business, so it's like, here's what I'm looking for, okay? So it says, hey, I don't know if this is for you, but I'm working with a group of socially conscious entrepreneurs who are teaching me how to make a six-figure income in the next 12 to 24 months. We're looking for a few key individuals, preferably with the sales and marketing background, that are ready to get to work with us on the project. Who do you know would be interested in that kind of money? Now, that's an indirect question. And when you're opening a statement, when you're doing something, you always want to end in a question. Why? Because that means you're in control of the conversation. If you're telling, and this was something I was guilty of, if I'm telling them everything about the water, about the, You know, they're asking the questions, and now they've got control of the situation. You look at the Jesus or Buddha or Lao Tzu or all these spiritual masters, they'd be asked questions by the public, and they would always ask a question to take control of the conversation. There's wisdom there, right? It worked 2,000 years ago. It worked 6,000 years ago. It'll work now too. Just human nature and how the mind works. So who do you know being that kind of money? What that does also is it says that I don't need you necessarily. I'm doing this. I'm looking for this. And the person's like, well, wait a minute. What about me? I could use that kind of money. Most people can. That's like top 1% of income earners. So if not, if they don't snap at that, you know, they're probably ready for the product, maybe not the business. And that's okay too, because this is part of the qualification. You're going to see the response. So next part. They go, well, what are you talking about? And this is what I call the second stage of quality. Let's say they get some interested. They want to know more, right? You're going to see that from your feedback. Hey, well, what is this? What are you talking about? Six-figure income is just like, look, you go and you get real quick. Hey, look, right now our company is expanding globally. We've got points of sales, service, and distribution all around the globe, and business is booming. I'm connected, and you can drop your voice. I'm connected with a group of business guys who are leading the global expansion. And I've got to add a couple of sharp people to my team to grow the business. If you or someone you know wants to learn about the project, I can get you in on a call with them and see if you qualify for this opportunity. But you got to be serious. Okay? But you got to be serious. And feel free to pause at any part of these things. And you can pause right after we got sales, you know, any part. This is a general guideline, but what you want to do is you want to say this in a language that is exciting, that is straight to the point. People don't have no time anymore. Straight to the point. This is what we're doing. This is the project we're on. Hey, do you know anybody, or are you interested in this? Okay? Now, they're like, so what's the deal? Which is now, if you notice here, we opened with the question, but we said here, but you got to be serious. Okay? At this point, they're going to ask a question if they're interested, and that's going to demonstrate that you got interested. So like, what's the deal? What's this all about? How's this works? Things along that line. That's going to be the question. That's why I have that's what they say here. Okay, and you say, look, I can't get into all the details, but let me say this. The company's been around for 40 years. They're in the #1 commodity in the world. They got points of sales and service and distribution all around, but here's the thing. The company's paying huge dollars for people who can work the project because is an important validator, because recent legislation changes in governments around the world, along with key changes in business and the internet, is positioning this company to explode in the next 18 months. Believe me, you don't want to miss out on it. Boom. Right? So at that point, they're going to say, yeah, I'm interested, or no, it's not for me. Okay, great. If they're not for me, we'll get to that in a minute, but let's assume that they're in. They say, yeah, I'm interested. And it goes, at this point, this is when you get down to their needs, and you need to write this information down. This is critical. This is straight out of Eric Worre's 4-point close. And one of the things I like to do is I like to close people on the 4-point close right away, because I want to find out if they're serious. And I didn't, when I first started out, I didn't realize the power of this. But let me tell you this, the people that enrolled me into the project took me through this sequence, and I didn't even know it. And that's what got me enrolled, and that stuck with me. And by the way, they had to go back at me many, many times, and I rejected them many, many times in a lot of different ways. But they kept me in the sales system until finally I cracked, and best thing ever. So here's the thing. Here's how you qualify people, and this goes back to the 4-question close, which is Eric Worre. He does a bunch of videos on this, and here's how it goes. Okay. Well, here's how you qualify. Let me ask you, and this is what you say. Let me ask you a few quick questions to see if you qualify. And what I do at that point is I have a notebook. By the way, this is a notebook that I use, and you can see in here I got every time I'm in a conversation with anybody. Look, there's one March 28th. Right? Here's one April 1st. Here's one April 1st. I got a couple of these books, right? April 1st. These are the conversations I had with people. April 4th. These are the meetings that I've had with people who were interested in the business. I write down, to start out, I put down in pen when I'm with them in a book so I can go back and keep track of this, and I write down the date, who it is, and the time, what's going on, any feedback that I got from that person, like let's say, I had small talk, that sort of stuff, I write little notes, and I make notes about that, so when I come back the next time on the next exposure, I go back to, let's say I'm talking to Michael, say, hey Michael, what was happening, we talked last time, you said you were interested in the, in the SD one, where are you on that, we got some financing on, I go right back and I'm right back to that conversation, even if it had, a few days ago, even a few weeks ago, even a few months ago. I go right back. And I've got my notes and I go, yep. I flip through my paper and there I am. I'm old school. Some people do it on computers and stuff. I like taking notes because it helps my brain. So anyways, 4 quick questions. Look, let's see if you qualify for this. Let me ask you, how much money do you need to make this worth your while? Ballpark figure. First thing that comes to mind. Most people are going to say somewhere between $1,000 and $5,000. The other day, though, I got a guy that said, I need 200 grand. Great. You see, when you start, when the person qualifies to what I call financial thermostat or financial ceiling is, you don't know what that is. It might be higher than yours. It might be lower than yours. You don't know. Some people started out hoping to make 500 extra bucks a month in this business and went on to build world-class business. Some people were looking to make $100,000 a month and went on to build work. You don't know where that person is. By asking this question, you're going to be able to talk to that person in a financial language that excites them, as opposed to something they don't believe in or something that's not good enough. This is important. So how much money do you need? Just ballpark figure. And you say it casually. And if you want to listen to Straight Line Persuasion again, and it talks about that. So how much money do you need to make this worth your while? How much money do you need? Ballpark figure, no big deal kind of thing, right? And they say whatever. They say, $3,000. Okay, so you write down 3,000. Great, 3,000 bucks. Okay, great. Well, let me ask you another question. How many hours per week can you work the project to start? And the guy says, I work 9 to 5 every deal. I can work 2 to 4 hours a week every night, and I can work all day Saturday. I got to spend Sunday with the family. You go, okay, so that means you can work approximately 10 to 20 hours a week. Is that fair? And they go, yeah, 10 to 20 hours a week. Okay, great. So that's perfect. So you write that down. And you say, would it be okay if we said, 20 hours a week? And the guy's like, okay, yeah, I'm willing to work really hard. So then you go to the next question. You say, how many months are you willing to work this many hours a week, whatever that number is, in order to make this kind of money? And the guy says, realistically, I can do that for the next 24 months, next 2 years. I'm like, okay, you're going to make 3,000. Okay, great. This is what's the key component. Now, on question number 4, you go, okay, look, whatever the person's name is, Bob, Marie, whatever, Jackie. So you say, hey, Bob, look, let's reiterate this. If I could show you a way to make 3,000 bucks a month, working 20 hours a week in the next 24 months, within that time frame, okay, would you be ready to get started? And they say, well, yeah. And here's why. You just got them to say a yes. You got to say a yes. You got to say a yes. And now you got a yes bias. There's what's called the consistency bias. You've demonstrated to them that now you know that you've got the financial picture. You know what's going to fit their needs. You haven't talked about the water. You haven't talked about ionization. You haven't talked about pH. You haven't talked about any of that stuff, because we need to fill their needs first. We need to fill their needs first. We'll talk about the product in a minute. So then you go, okay, great. Let's get you on the call with the team to see if this project is a right fit for you. Sound fair enough? Does that sound fair enough? Let's, and say it in the language that you say. It's like, okay, great. You know what? I based on this here numbers, I think this could work out for you. Let me get you on to one of my senior partners, one of my business partners. Let me get you on with one of the experts in here. And let's see if this project's a right fit for you so we can build that program for you. Does that sound fair enough? And they go, yeah, that sounds fair enough. And at that point, you get the appointment. Your job at that point is done. Stop. And I can't say that enough. Just stop talking about anything else. You get them on, like I use this. This is my link. It's like meetme.so bookway. This is like your own personal organization site. You can go to schedule once. I talk about this a lot of times. For me, it's meetme.so/bookway. That's my particular domain. And I've set aside on my calendar the times that I work the business. So I set the times each week. These are the times that I'm working the business, working my appointments, and I'm either filling the appointments or my team members are filling the appointments. So you see how that works? So now it's probably an 80-20 split with me working with particular team members and 20% of working on my own calendars. When you start out, it's going to be 80 or 100% of you booking, you know, your people on that, right? And of course, sometimes you got to get a three-way or that sort of thing. Or you're going to be booking on the calendar of your upline. You're going to call them and say, hey, let me get you this. Can you meet me at this time? Or that person has set aside some times they can work with you. Or put it on your personal calendar, okay? Book the appointment. Okay, so we've got 3 p.m. Saturday afternoon. We're going to meet at the Starbucks, right, on Main and 5th Street. You give the location, you write the location down, and you take down that important information, you put it in your phone, and then you send them right there, and that's what you send them the invite and get them on their calendar, watch them input it into your stuff. Then you make sure that you send a couple of reminders leading up to that appointment, because even when you book everything in your appointment, some people aren't going to show up sometimes. You need to plan for that. You need to have things you want to say, this is really important. I'm bringing someone here. They've set aside some time, especially if you're using Upline, and you want to edify their time. Look, you got to make sure you show up. Are you sure you can make up? We've got 3 p.m. You confirm it, 3 p.m. on Saturday, Starbucks, Main and 5th. You're going to be there, right? Yes, great. Boom. Got to run. You know what? That's great. I got to run. We'll see you on that date. Get off the phone. Leave the space. Whatever. Call the day before and confirm the time. And for any of these, you guys are all going to get a link on this. It's we got a setting your appointment strategy. There's a whole file that we've done on this. Creel and Siha and did a great job on this one. There's a video on the link. It's on our YouTube page that you can access through the PH Alliance. So you can just do that and go for it. So next. Now, not everybody's going to go for this. So you got to understand that if you're doing this right and you're doing this frequently enough, you're going to get rejection. And, you know, rejection isn't really rejection. They're rejecting because they don't know. They're rejecting because they store. They get rejection because it's not right for them. And that's okay. You need to get to that point, and you get to the point that it's okay, because most people have a fear of rejection. Everybody fears. I remember having fear, you know, of rejection and all that stuff. You know, once you face your fear and go through it, you know, 20, 30, 40 times, you don't feel it anymore. You know, what's on the other side of fear? Nothing. You know, nothing. There's nothing there. It's a mystery. It's fairy dust or something. You know, it doesn't. The feeling, the thing that we build up about rejection is really not that bad. We think it's bad, but it's not. So here's the thing. They say, hey, no, that's not for me. Or they say, oh, you're coming at me too hard, or what's up with you, bro? Or let's say they give you the worst one and say, hey, man, don't mistake my enthusiasm for pressure. Hey, maybe this isn't for you, but I'm going all in this one. So look, I get that it's not for you. Would you mind helping me out by coming out to one of my demonstrations or reviewing the product online if I sent you my website? If I sent this out to you, if I asked you to come out to one of my demos, you could take a look at it, rip it apart, I'd really appreciate that. Would you help me? You know what? A lot of people, especially in your war market, they say, yeah, no problem, I'll check it out. And the reason is because nobody likes to reject somebody. There's a small percentage, I should say, that do get off on it or enjoy it, but, you know, that's fine. You know, you can't control everybody. That's fine. But the reality is, hey, would you mind helping me out then? You know what? I'm going all in on this one. I need to get some feedback anyways. Would you check out my demonstration, one of my demonstrations, or review the project? I'd love to get your feedback. That's it, right? So they say, yeah, you know what? I'll do that. So great. Can you check out this site? Have your site ready if you got your Prosperity and Health Alliance site. You should have that if you've gone through the 1, 2, 3. You send them that link right away. Hey, can you just go through these videos real quick and give me your feedback on what you liked and what you didn't like? And by the way, I've got tracking on it, so I'll know if you went through it before. Yeah, I love that one. because then you've got them on the hook. They've committed to it. So, and then you can go back to the qualifying. So if I send this to you now, when can you have this watch so I can call you back and just find out? Or if you're going to bring them out to a demonstration, you say, hey, here's our meeting. Look, we got a meeting at Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. It's down on 633 Kingshorn Mews. It's a great demonstration, great stuff. Chocolate strawberries after. It's a lot of fun, cool people. It only takes about an hour. I really, really appreciate it. I'll tell you what, in fact, I just like it so much. I'll pick you up. We'll go for tea after, or we'll go for lunch after. We'll chat it up or whatever. We'll just get that, as a token of my appreciation. We'll go out afterwards, or we'll go out before that, beforehand. And you can meet them and go pick them up. Go pick them up. When you're going to the meeting, go pick that person up so they can't not show up. Oh, I don't know. I can't tell you how many distributors say, oh, well, we had the meeting. I don't know where they are. You know what? Go pick them up. Go pick them up. Daniel DeMacaulay talks that up. Go pick them up. I'm going to pick you up at such and such a time. They're going to be there, right? It's just human nature. If they say no again, hey, you know what? No big deal. Just one last thing. Do you know any sharp salespeople that are used to making a high income? I really got to find some people to work this out. And if you're able to point me in the right direction, I'd be happy to set you up with a referral check. Wow, I'll give you a referral. We pay referrals if you can find me a hot salesman. It could be worth a lot of money to you, They're like, really? Yeah, sound fair enough? Okay, great. Yeah, you know what? I know a guy that, I know a guy that he was working on this thing. And, I know this guy that he was a top salesman in this organization. He went through a divorce and everything kind of worked out. Yeah, let me hook you up with them. And can you send me a text? And a little introduction. And a lot of people will do that. And all of a sudden you move past them. Then let's say that person goes through, you go through the same format. And let's say that guy, refers somebody. He refers a top girl that gets involved in the project and is really hot on the project. Guess what? Then you come back to the sales guy and say, hey, you know what? Angie's going to do this. She's getting in. Why don't you get started on this, and at least, because you're going to miss out on a lot of commissions. And then when Angie goes in and Bob goes in, then you go back to the first guy and say, hey, you know what? I've got 3 sales coming to this organization. Let me show you how this compensation program works, man. I just, in good faith, I don't want you to miss out on that. All of a sudden, people go, whoa, 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 wait a minute. Now it's fear of loss. And people are motivated more by the fear of loss. They think you're going to make some money and they're not going to get involved. Then they're interested. Okay, yeah, I'll take some of that. I'll take some of that. You'd be surprised. If you keep moving forward, like Mr. O'Shiro, the keep moving forward in a way that's not attached to that person, because that person has a whole host of people who has a whole host of people who has a whole host of people. Somewhere in that group, somebody is praying tonight to find this opportunity. Someone out there. And we're on a mission of compassion. We're on a mission of compassion to find those people. To say, who is that person? Say a prayer to divinity. Someone's looking to improve their health. Someone is improving their financial situation. You don't know. You don't know what's going on behind that door. And one of the reasons I like leading with the business now, which is a 360 from when I started, is that a lot of people are having challenges financially. And when you deal with the business side, people are more likely to invest in a business than they are in their health. Now, there's health freaks like me that would get into the health, but that was my own bias. That group is not as large as the group that would get involved for a business opportunity. Okay? And here's it. Final close, right? Final thing. Thanks so much. You know what? Please keep me in mind if you find any sharp people, as we're always looking. Really appreciate your input. Hey, I got to run to another point, but let's catch up next week and pick a normal social occasion and go be there. Hey, you know what? There's a great game going on. There's something going on the other way. Hey, let's go meet up down there. Let's go watch the hockey game. Let's go watch the ball game. Let's go out hiking together. Let's go for a walk on the seawall. Whatever it happens to be, whatever your normal run with that person is, you want to tie it back up to there. And when you go out with them that next time, don't mention it. Don't mention it unless they bring it up. And keep going that. And if you go meet them on those social occasions like you normally would, sooner or later they're going to ask you, hey, how's that business working out for you? They're going to be curious, especially if you don't. Curiosity is powerful. Powerful. Okay? Now, if you got a product script, here's the product script. Great line. Oh my God. You'll never guess what I just bought recently. They're like, what? This is a cutting-edge technology that's being backed some of the best doctors in the world. It's being used by a whole bunch of the top athletes in the world, like Tiger Woods and Manny Pacquiao, right? And all these amazing athletes. You won't even believe it. I can show you the list. And here's the crazy part. These athletes, they don't even pay endorsements. These athletes are buying these machines like they're going out of style. They're an athletic type. If they're a medical doctor type, it's more of the doctor. We've got a Harvard vascular surgeon that's all over it. We got the top colon doctor that's all over this stuff. You won't believe it. And they're like, well, what is it? And it's like, well, I got to show you this thing. It's going to blow your mind. Why don't you come on over to the house and I show you what this thing can do? It's a mind blower. And they're like, what is it? What is it? You haven't told them, right? You want to create energy, enthusiasm, excitement, and curiosity. Okay? And they go, and they say, well, no, I'm not coming over to your house. I don't got time. I got the kids. I got, things like, no problem. This thing is portable. I can bring it to your place in Shermley. Normally I wouldn't do this, but this thing is so crazy it's going to blow your mind. And they're like, what is it? And I'm like, look, trying to explain it isn't going to do it justice. Let's just book a time where I can show you and you can see it for yourself, right? What do you got? And then you ask them a question. Hey, when are you free next? You free Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? What day are you free? I'm going to pop by. Only takes a few minutes. And then you come on over. You have your setup, all your attachments, the extra attachments, wherever their water things are or whatever, and then you do a quick down and dirty demo, play a video, whatever it happens to be, show them some water, leave them some jugs, do whatever you need to do. But the bottom line is you want to get them to an exposure of the technology. That's because if you've never had this, if you've never experienced it, you think it's just a $4,000 water filter, $5,000 water. You got no idea. Nobody has any idea what this is. And one of the things that we forget going into this is our technology is so good, people can't expect what this is. There's no way they can imagine this. So trying to explain it to them without them seeing it or feeling it, it's just not going to fly unless you're a world-class salesperson. And if that's the case, you probably don't need to be on the webinar. You're out closing sales tonight. Well, let's talk about close the demo. But when I say close, hey, they reject. Hey, you know what? Okay, you'll find out about it soon enough. Then don't tell them what it is. And they say, well, what is it? You know what? You'll find about it soon enough. Don't worry about it. And shut up. Don't talk about it. And they'll be like, what is it? You know what? You're not interested. That's okay. Take it away. Take it away. And then the curiosity, like, well, what's going on? What's going on with Wade? What's going on with Sally? What's going on with Siha? What is they so curious about, right? And at some point in time, they're going to come back and they're going to want to see this thing, right? Or you're going to put a little video on YouTube or something. Kim's been doing that. That's a great idea. Put a little bit. What is this thing? Bottom line, keep it simple. Don't get into becoming a water expert. Don't be coming into a super slick salesman or trying to, close on. Like, just get them to the demo or get them to a meeting or business presentation. That's your goal to start out. Let's get to first base. I don't care if it's a walk. I don't care if it's a base hit. I don't care if you get hit by a pitch. I don't care if you struck out and the ball was in the dirt and you ran to first. As long as you get on first base, then the upline, then the demo, then the website, that becomes your DH. That becomes the designated hitter that's going to knock those people in on the bases. Okay? And then going beyond that, that's the next guys on the hitter, right? So using baseball. So that's basically the format that we're talking about on how to do this. By the way, we do have an inviting procedure. So if we can go, we can cut off this video, Kim, and we can go back to Siha, and we'll open up for, I know there's going to be questions at the end. We'll save the questions. If you have questions, write it down, and then we'll go back to the big picture here. Are we back to the big picture?
Yes, we are. And if you send me those slides, I will convert it into a PDF for you that you can send out with the replay.
Yeah, I'll have this converted into a PDF for everybody as soon as the replay is in and out, so you guys don't have to write this down. And keep in mind, just use the languaging that works for you. That's really, really important, to not think that you've got to say it the way Wade says it. Say it the way that sounds natural and honest and okay with who you are. That's really, really important, okay? So I'm sitting here in the sun, sweating like crazy, and I'm loving it. We're so excited. And the king of excitement himself is Mr. Siha Top. And Siha, like, what's going on in your business? Because like you went on this all-out massive 90-day action in quarter one like you do every single year, and all of a sudden there's like a tidal wave coming. It's a tsunami of sales is happening. What are you doing?
We are doing what's behind your back. You see what's behind your back? It says Trifecta in all ways. I first want to say thank you for that amazing teaching of inviting, because like we talked about, it's so important because it doesn't move. You don't move the home base until you get to first base. So I love that analogy. However you're going to get on there, even if you strike out, just get on to first base and we'll take it from there, right?
Exactly.
So I love it. That is what it's all about, folks, is getting on to first base. And I did everything that Wade said there, trying to get on to first base, and then having him be the designated hitter per se until I could handle it myself. But so that's what we are. We are your DH for now. So you utilize us and let us help you get that home run. So awesome training on that. Inviting is so key. It's what drives our business. It's how we introduce our business. And we're not, I'm not here to introduce it to the distributors that already have the units. You guys already showed up. You guys already sat through the presentations 1 time, 10 times, 100 times. We're interested in helping new folks see the light. New folks get this information. We learn, we teach others to teach, and that's why it's really exciting when you do bring new prospects to us. That's really what gets us bubbling, and that's what really gets us going. And myself and Wade, we love handling what we call the hecklers. Throw it at us. Bring your most challenging engineer, bring your most challenging teacher, bring your most challenging parent. That's the invite. Get them there and just watch what we do. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't work. But I'll tell you this, we'll give it our best shot, and chances are it will work. And it usually does work, right, Wade?
It's so true, right? It's so true. And when you're first starting out, I can't share with you enough how, a lot of people are nervous, or a lot of people, or whatever, that old story is we're a team. This is the Prosperity and Health Alliance team. You got to leverage your team members. It's okay to leverage your team members to get part of this. This is how the business works, and that's the beauty of it. And I don't know anybody that goes to bat, so to speak, for his team more than Siha Top. And tell us more about, how you've named the Trifecta a little differently than some of the groups, and what you're talking about, what's working for you.
Yeah, for sure. The Trifecta, Trifecta. Our company has 3 major products that service to the health side and the wealth side. And so you're asking me, how do you Wade? You've asked me, when do you bring up the business prospects, or when do you bring up the health prospects? And I have to honestly say, I bring up all the prospects because it's what we have. I'm representing Enagic, and Enagic has these three amazing products. The machines, the life-altering devices, which help you with hydration and detoxification. I don't say more than that. The turmeric, which is the highest antioxidant, one of the highest antioxidant herbs found out there, with the right ingredients, it does a body so good. So our company offers that. I don't say anything more than that. And then the last product that our company has is this amazing shower bath filter that protects you from the contaminated waters that may be out there, like the Flint, Michigan water. You want to be bathing in that, or bathing your baby or your dog, or any living thing that you have that you love and care for in that? No. So I just keep it really short and sweet, and that is the Trifecta, our product. So I start with the 3 products and what they do, but then I said, you know what? When they see our presentation, at the end, when I go to ask the clients what is it that they're looking for, are you looking for a family health plan? The complete family health plan? Because this is what I chose to do, and so many of my friends chose to do. This is not the fix-all, cure-all, or the silver bullet, as they say, but you know what? It's an extra layer of insurance, which I like to call living insurance. I'm alive. I get to practice with my family, my friends, true health, beauty, vitality. That's the family health plan, the complete family health plan. If that's for you, perfect. But you know what? Maybe you're in a situation, or you're in a position like where I was, where you're looking for the entrepreneur success plan. And that is a business opportunity that'll allow you to build an amazing business globally. So the entrepreneurial success plan, it consists of the 3 devices as well: the water ionizer, the turmeric supplementation, and the Nespa. So which one is right for you? Do you want the complete family health plan, or do you want the entrepreneur success plan? Which is right for you? And then, like you said, zip it and let them come back. And they'll tell you exactly. They'll come back and they'll say, you know what, I really want to bring in some extra income, or I really hate my job, I need something new. That happened over and over again, almost like on a daily basis for me right now. You know, people that I'm just coming across in my world, and so many of my teams are their friends and family in our 30s, 40s, and 50s, 60s, just don't want to do what we went to school for to do, or don't want to do what we've done for 20, 30, 40 years, and are looking for a change, and for them, they don't care if they're even making less money, but they just want to do something that they're passionate about. So that's the complete family health plan, and that's how I introduce it as that. Because we are sharing it that way as the Trifecta, the family health plan, entrepreneur success plan, our clients that they were proposing this to, they're accepting our offers. They're accepting offers gladly, open-handedly and open-heartedly, saying, I want that. I want to start right now. And so whether they choose the 3 products all at the beginning, or 2 or 1 product, maybe it's just the Ukon right now, that's fine. We'll help you start an amazing health program with it, or we'll help you start an amazing business program with it. If that's all you want to do is the turmeric, that's great. Or maybe it's just the water right now, or maybe it's just the water ionizer and the turmeric. Great. What did they choose? That was perfect for them, and we're happy for them. Who wins? They win, the consumer wins, the company wins, and we, the distributor, wins. We all win. It's a win-win situation. That is a trifecta. Offer it all. Insurance. In insurance sales, you know, when you talk to an insurance agent for your car, for your home, don't they tell you all the coverages that comes with your insurance policy, and not one policy is the same as the other? You know, your house may have earthquake, may have windstorm, may have, you know, tsunami, may have all these different things, or not. You can choose not, but they offer everything, and the customer has to decide what's best for them. That's all we're doing, is we're just offering all our products and saying, what's the best policy for you? Right, Wade?
Yeah, that's perfect. That's solid gold, Siha, as always. Now let me. I want to transit in here. 2 things. How soon, when you meet somebody, are you introducing what you're doing?
Right away.
Right away.
The first thing that I say, this is what I do. I teach on water health, water quality all around the world. So what does that mean? Well, to me, it's telling you this is what I do. I teach health in some way, some form, all around the world. That's insinuating or sharing with you that I work this business all around the world.
And you do.
Right, and I do. So I'm in alignment with exactly what I do. And then they can ask me what or where, when or how, and then I move, you know, feeling their energy, then I can move towards what they're looking for. Right? So when do I share it? Right away. You have to tell people right away.
Now let me ask you the next question. The person gets involved with whatever package that you know, they start, whether it's a Ukon, whether it's a Trifecta, whether it's a water machine and an Anaspa, or what, you know, some combination of that. They've got the machine. You go help them set it up.
Yes. If I'm in the same town, or if I'm in the same area, I do go and help them set it up. Obviously, I can't go help everybody set up all around the world. So you know, we have videos and stuff. So is that your right?
Yeah. So the next part of that, for the people who haven't experienced this, whatever, I know that you're a master at getting referrals. So when do you ask for those referrals in that process?
Right after I've gotten the introduction through, right after I've talked about the trifecta, and I've zipped it up, like you said, you know, shut up, and then heard their responses. It's a yes or a no, or they want more information, whatever it may be. I deliver that, what they want, and then I say, do you know somebody else who needs this technology in their life that I can share and teach on? or, you know, would like a business opportunity, you know, because I build business builders. I build successful business builders all over the world. I'd love the opportunity to talk with them, to work with them, to help them grow.
And
So
how many people are have a positive response to that, would you say, in your experience?
in my experience, everybody,
Yeah.
because everybody. I'm not just saying that. It's the honest truth. You know, whether they don't want the product or want the product, but you're asking me, well, what's the response, right? It's everybody. It's how you communicate.
And if you notice, folks, one of the things was where Siha kind of drops down in his tone and his heart, and he's really good at it. He's like, hey man, this is what I do. You know anybody that can benefit this? There's a communication that when you get this in your heart and your emotion of what we're doing and what we're feeling and what the experience is, and listening to those testimonials, that transmits beyond the words. And you can see it as soon as you say that, and that's something I want everyone to, you'll get better at this the more it goes from your head into your heart. You first start saying the lines and the scripts and all this stuff to start. It's in your head. And you need that so that it comes out. But once you've got that mastered or that format, and you've done this as probably better than anybody, it comes now. That's that there. You express in your heart, but the format's in place. It's like the format's in there, where you're going, what you're doing. Are we moving forward on the process, and am I getting to that person, or am I getting to the next person? Am I correct?
You're absolutely correct. It's really communication skills, and it's listening skills, and it's showing the person that's in front of you that it's possible. Whatever they want, it's possible. And that's the communication skill that you have to master yourself. You know, again, I say it's a listening skill. I have to practice all the time, whether it be with my friends, my family, my wife, my kids. It's a listening skill. And then once you feel their energy and feel what they want, but they sometimes aren't motivated, you know, and you know that you see potential in them. You see that they can do this, that they would love this, and they would love to see what's on the other side of fear. They would just love, because it would just crush everything. And that's what I see when I'm talking to people. It's like, you just don't know what's on the other side of your fear. That's all. I do. And you're going to love it. It's nothing that you thought it was going to be, right? Just like you talked about the fear.
100%. And know when you're starting out, it's the fear that you've experienced is because you don't have the experiences that way, and that's why leveraging your upline can really help. You go through those things, you push through that little resistance inside yourself. The scripts can help to get you in the practice and in the flow of it, and to keep you, as you said, one of the key parts is shutting up. It's like, get the question and sit. There's a period that happens. There's a space that happens. That person. And then they're going to say, but you've got to stop. And there's a kind of, at first, when you first do that, it's kind of uncomfortable. There's almost an uncomfortable sign. It's like, and you got to sit there. You got to sit there in that space. And when you first start it, with 1 second or 2 seconds or 3 seconds, it seems like a lifetime. It seems like it's an hour. But sit and be patient. And let the person, because you just unloaded on that, maybe they felt something, maybe they hooked something, let them sit with that and then express that. Express what their need is, express what their desire is. And once you get better and better at that, you become, again, it goes down from here and into here, and you start feeling what's happening. And I know one of the things that I've learned a lot from Siha is how to get into the feel of the one-on-one. And I think a lot of parents are actually naturally good at that, because with kids, especially when they're young, they can't talk. They're sending emotions and feelings, and so a lot of you parents out there, you're going to know that or feel that more so than maybe someone who doesn't. So you just got to practice that. And one of the things that I started doing is I started hanging around little kids. I didn't speak, and I start feeling what the guy's communicating to me, or that little girl's communicating to me, and then you start building, you start working out of this position, right? Not blah, 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 blah. And so that's a little bit on that, but we're coming up top of the hour. Any more that you want to add on this?
I do want to add. The trifecta, is we are getting success stories from out there, we've been sowing it. Now we're all starting to reap it in a sense, and we're going to continue to sow it. And here's what we're getting. You know what? Let's be real with the numbers. When Wade and I first started, we were taught to do one sale at a time, and you have to have 101 sales to get to the 6A, right? Now with the trifecta, it's 3 sales. So simple math, it's 34 sales. So you're only having to do 1/3 the effort, really 1/3 the same amount of numbers to hit, the same amount of people, but you're offering the trifecta. You only need 34.
Plus the Ukons, plus the Ukons is 3 sales a year.
Right, and I'm not even going. That's just extra bonus. But let's just simple math. And simple math just tells us we only need 34 versus 101. I look at it as 101 families, or 101 people. Which is a lot easier? 34. Obviously, it's 1/3. Okay, so 6A faster. The success stories for 6A people to 6A and above faster than ever is absolutely true. I was just on the phone with the Hawaiian office, and there's a gentleman that made 6A in 30 days. In 30 days with his organization, he made 30 days. And I was down in the Seattle office just last week picking up some machines, and there was a person out of Florida who started in February, and it is at 79 sales. Now, it's not just our teams that are doing it. I'm seeing it all over the organization, and I'm one of those guys. I want to know, what are they doing? So I'm asking the office, what are they doing? And it's the trifectas or more. For our teams, myself, and cross lines, or people from other teams, I was just down there to help train some other teams last week. And Billy Baker, and you can see it on his Facebook and everything else, 2 trifectas and two Ukons, because he never really focused on promoting the business opportunity and looking for business people, or promoting the trifecta. Same thing I was sharing with our teams. Now I'm just sharing with other people that maybe they're not hearing it, and they're trying it from day one, and that's what they're getting. With some of our friends and teammates from San Diego, Mike McDonough, 2 trifectas and 2 machines in the last 2 weeks. Why? Because he's promoting it. He's sharing it. It's trifecta. Scott, right here out of Linden, 2 trifectas, Ukons and machines. There again, he was just beaming. All these guys were calling me and just on cloud 11 here, because they're like, Siha, the trifecta is working. I just offered. I got another trifecta. It's infectious, right? With the trifecta. Rick Steidley, first sale. His first sale, he put me in front of the right person, which is this entrepreneur. And the entrepreneur said, I saw this project 6 years ago. I didn't get in. I want to get in now. But now I showed him the trifecta, or he saw the trifecta. This time around, he bought the trifecta. And this is Rick, who's his very first sale. You think he's excited? You think he's, going to go out and tell more about the trifecta? Absolutely. And personally myself, just, I want to thank Scott and Brent and Mira and Devin. These are all people who just got on with the trifecta. Some of them were already distributors, but then once they learned about the trifecta, they weren't on it themselves. They got on it themselves. So do you see where I'm going with this? It just grows. It just mushrooms out. If we're not promoting, if we're not sharing, if we're not teaching it, we're not growing it as fast. So that's why I'm so excited about the trifecta. And if you have any questions on how to do it, or want me to go in more detail, type it up, because now it's your hour. It's your time to ask questions here.
So that's great. Awesome, solid gold. And again, the teams are rocking and rolling. The trifecta is working great. And don't be surprised how many people will go for it. It'll blow your mind. And even if they don't go for it, they end up getting it later on anyways. So get them started wherever they're at. Ask for it. It's kind of like, if you ask for the trifecta, it's kind of like, well, they don't feel like, then they say, you know what, I can't do that right now. I'll do that later, but I'll get a water machine, or I'll get a new, like it's an easier step down from the 3 to 1 sale. So you get more sales even again. So I mean, it just works. Believe me. I wish we had started this way. I wish we had known this way.
Right.
But it's here now, and we're happy about it.
I want to add something really quick in our system, the 1, 2, 3 system, the trifecta there with the Prosperity and Health Alliance. Testimonial after testimonial, people are plugging in, and they're getting on the system, and they're doing the number 2, which is getting their own website. Just talking to Scott Duffy today, he had 4 sales that occurred from the website. That means less effort, more sales, more teammates, more people's lives changed. How important? That's step number 2. And then step number 3, which is our coaching, which is the automated training and coaching that Wade and then us here at Prosperity and Health put together to say, hey guys, just do these simple 30-day steps here, and then let's move on to the next together. It's automated. I love the word automated. You guys want automated cash flow? Do these 1, 2, 3 systems, and you'll get that automated cash flow. So some true success stories with real people, real teammates. It's not just us saying it.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it. All of us, again, we all want to put that out, we are the Prosperity Health Alliance. You're the Prosperity Alliance. You're on our team. You're in our group. We're all part of Enagic. Enagic handles the service and the distribution and all the moving parts of manufacturing to the sale. We handle the training and the education. What you got to get good at is inviting people to the product and the opportunity and showing that's it. If you can do that skill, if you can do that one simple skill of inviting people to look at this system and get them plugged into the system, it goes off. And the only thing controlling your income is how many people you expose to that system and how many times they get exposed until they say, you know what, this is right, because it's the best game in town. Anyways, let's get to questions. I know we're kind of up top of the hour. The sun was standing, I'm looking out here. It's a beautiful sunset. I feel so blessed to be part of this, but let's ask some questions. Hey Ian, we got Ian from Sydney, Australia on the call. Great to have you on the call. Someone wasn't getting sound. I hope that got worked out for you. Here's a question from Kim. Can people get started with the business? With just the Ukon? Yeah, exactly. There's some groups out there that are promoting the Ukon first, and that's it. So
yeah,
yes,
I want to add some of that.
Sure.
I want to add some of that. Kim, absolutely can somebody get started on the Ukon and succeed in this business with Ukon? Matter of fact, myself and a team leader, 6A leader here, Scott Duffy, we just started our very first 5A to Freedom seminars. $5 a day to freedom. I'm sorry, $5 a day to freedom. And it was basically from the video that Todd Clemmer that I sent out to our teams. How he's teaching on the Ukon and the numbers on Ukon. And we're showing people, instead of wasting $5 a day on your latte and on soda pop and on your lotto tickets or whatever it is, that $5 a day that you're wasting your money on, why don't you invest in yourself? Why don't you invest in a system? Why don't you invest in the future, your future, and the people that are around you? And so it was a huge success. There again, Scott called me up and just raving, saying, hey, we got 4 more people to sign up for the Ukon, just the Ukon alone. That's fabulous. So $5 to freedom is what we call it, and it's all about the business. We start out with the ways to get in. In the U.S. it's $225. I think it's the same in Canada. $225 on the Enagic payment plan for the Ukon, then $125, $125, $125 for the next 3 months. So it's quarterly.
It's $155 in Canada.
Okay, it's $155. So
yeah.
You've got the numbers there. So they're really close. So so with that is how we got the $5 to freedom. $5 a day to freedom, and that's one way they can get in. $225 per month, and US $125 or Canada $155. Correct?
I believe that's correct. I think it's actually one. Yeah. So it's the bottom line. It's $150 a month. You're in.
So that's one way to get in and to start building. Just with the Ukon, I'm going to stick it with this. Stay on this topic for a little bit more. You get 10 people to get 10 people just at a normal sign up. 10 to get 10, that's 100 in your organization, you become a 6A. But just to get 10 to get 10, and they continue to sign up for the 1 year, every 4 months, that's a $72,000 residual income to you. That's $72,000. I've done this presentation, this teaching all over with insurance agents in the audience, and I'm saying, are there any insurance agents in the audience? If there is, can I ask, how many policies do you have to sell today to make $72,000? Every single one of them, the range has been 300 to 500 policies. We only have to do 100. And if they want to hire somebody, if they want to hire a coworker, a co-agent in the office, that agent has to pay for schooling, has to pass their test, and now has to pay for licensing and all that before they can make their first dime. we can walk right out the door and sign up 10 people and help them sign up 10 people. So that's how powerful it is. And on the video that Todd Clemmer shows you, when you become a 6A, like the levels that we are at 6A and above, when you're at 6A, it's $40 per point on the Ukon. Multiply that by 6 points, that's $240, excuse me, yeah, $240 per quarter. If you're a 6A and you help 8 people to get 8 people to get 8 people, so it's 8 times 8 is 64 times 8, it's 512 people in your organization, which is not a lot of people. 512, if they re-sign up, that's $122,000 per quarter, or 366, just shy over $360,000, $366,000 per year in residual income. So to answer your question, Kim, can you start with Ukon and make money with Ukon? Absolutely. I hope that I helped answer your question.
So as you can see, we're very excited about the Ukon. We're very excited about the Trifecta. We're excited about the system. You can plug into some of that stuff. Maybe see how you can make available some of those videos to the Prosperity and Health Alliance. That would be great. So we'll put that on the docket. I'll remind you about that. Moving along, as we're getting to the top of the hour, we got someone said, yeah, Scott, yeah, when head to the heart is huge and a major important step. They just changed everything for me in my business. That's a good testimonial. I believe it's 155 in both Canada and the U.S. Just to confirm.
That's right. It is 155. I remember that.
Yeah. So and there was another fellow here. Hey, Michael, how's it going, big guy? Great to hear you on the call. Good evening, gentlemen. Is the Trifecta method still possible? I want to purchase a travel machine as opposed to the spot. Yes, it is. That's the beauty of this. You can work the Trifecta anywhere else. Michael, what we'll do is we'll get on a call. You, me, and Kimberly, and we'll work out the best situation for you. That's no problem. A lot of people do it all different ways, and the bottom line is we'll make it work for you. So that's great. Would you post, Bob Smith here, would you post the link for the Todd Clemmer Ukon process?
I will.
What we'll do is we'll put that in an upcoming email this week from the Prosperity and Health Alliance, so check your inbox. By the way, if you're not getting the emails from the PH Alliance and you got to Google, check your promotions or check your other boxes. There's 3 boxes on the top. Sometimes it goes into that. Check your spam. Make sure that we're approved. Some spam blockers can block that. Yahoo's like, check in those files because sometimes you miss key information that can help push you over the top. That's what it's for. We want you to use it and leverage it. And with that, I think we're out of questions. Anything you wanted to add before we wrap this up, Siha?
No, just love this energy. Let's just keep moving forward. First quarter is over with. I'll be in Hawaii tomorrow for the next 9 days, so we'll be on the cast with you, both Creel and I, next Monday from Hawaii. So love from Hawaii, everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much, Siha. And I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Creel Hutchinson, who was out working the Hawaii market. Yeah. He hit one level on one of his businesses. He's going to hit another one, so he's working hard. And that's the part we cover each other in the Alliance to allow people focus on different aspects. If you're ready to rock, if you're ready to step up, you're ready to go to the next level, you got excited about the Ukon, you got excited about the Trifecta, what you want to do is don't just end here. You get off this call tonight, reach out, text your upline, text the person that you're connected with, text the person in your group that's going to help you move this forward. Get that, take action. Tony Robbins says never leave the moment of a decision without taking action. Make that decision tonight. Make tonight be the night you say, you know what, that's it. I'm going. I'm going to hit that 6A. I'm going to hit that 6A2. I'm going to the top. Nothing's going to stop me. I'm going to learn this stuff. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to make my list. I'm going to go through that sequence. I'm going to start a new 30-day, 90-day, all-out master. Whatever it is, take the step. Believe me this. Believe you me. I'm going to share something with you. There is a magic that happens when you commit to something. When you commit to something, the fear dissipates. When you commit to something, the schedule clears up. When you commit to something, your mind, your body, your heart, everything starts to come into alignment, and it gets you into the state of where you will access your super self. Your super self is there. It's lying dormant behind some TV programs and some chips and soda, whatever got that clogged up, some old It's still there. That childhood superpower that's inside you. The person that was coming out of school when you were 18 years old and going to take on the world and knew you could do it and all that stuff, and somewhere along the world somebody beat you up or told you a story or you lost. Forget it. It wasn't true. Here's what's true. You have the greatest opportunity in front of you. You've got a team that is here to support you. You've got a company that is spread out all around the world that's going to handle all the heavy lifting. You've got all the components. This is the moment. This is the time. This is the opportunity that you've really been looking for, and it can really change your life. And I can tell you from the bottom of my heart, and I know Siha would say the same. Our lives changed from this business. We've watched hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people's lives change. We've seen people change physically. We've seen people change financially. We've seen people change emotionally. Our business is about sharing true health with compassion. And when people really dive in and find out what the heart of Enagic really is, when you really actually get there, get to the convention in July, meet Mr. Oshiro, meet some of the top distributors, meet the group of people that's into this project. I mean, everyone from grandmothers to Harvard physicians are in this project. Everything from, you know, rock stars and famous people are into this to like young kids just out of school. It's a movement. It's something you've never seen before. But you gotta take action. You gotta participate. You gotta go to your group of events. You gotta go to the big events. You gotta see you at the convention. I don't care what you gotta do. Get the air miles. Buy $10,000 worth of groceries at the store. Stock up and fly down there in the air miles. There's $20 places to sit at. Whatever, you get to that event and see the magic of Enagic global convention, thousands and thousands of people from all races, colors, creeds, everything gathered together in one group, man. I can't wait to see you there. We're excited. The boys are going to be in Hawaii taking care of our Hawaii teams. I'm going to be locked down here in the Tower of Power to make sure we're delivering next Monday and reach out, change someone's life, and most of all, change your own. We love you. Prosperity and Health Alliance. We'll see you real soon.
Thank you, everybody. We appreciate and love you so much. Bye.